Hola, I'm Mrs. Avila. I'm your child's Spanish 1 teacher. I'm entering my 18th year as a teacher. This is my 3rd year in the middle school setting, and I'm lucky enough to have started my years here at South Belton Middle School. I'm a graduate of Belton High School as well as Mary Harn Baylor. Ways that you can communicate with me are the following. You can actually email me or use my phone extension provided. Students can also message me on Schoology, and some parents have actually also had their child log into Schoology, and then they will send me a direct message through Schoology as well. They will just put in the message center or in the message line that they are so and so's parent. The other thing that the district provided for us this year is an upgraded version of Remind. So if you look here, these are the unique codes that you can enter so that you can sign in with your child into your child's or be connected to your child's class period. So you would enter 8, 10, 10, and then these are the unique codes. These codes are actually also found in Schoology. I put them in as an update. So if you ask your child for the code, they will be able to see it on the update section of Schoology. Let's talk about the course requisites because these are very important. Even though we are in the middle school, this is actually a high school course, and therefore we're going to follow high school policies and guidelines. First thing is first is the attendance. In order for a student to receive credit for this class, we have to show proof that the student was present 90% of the time. And that's going to be a little tricky this year because we are in an unusual situation with some people being remote learners. But really it isn't so much because teachers have a link, an attendance link in a daily attendance link that students are supposed to be logging into. So parents, please ensure that your child is logging into the attendance link on a daily basis in order to receive attendance credit. Obviously, in order to receive credit for the course, students also have to complete the work. And so parents, make sure that the students are completing work, specifically those students who are remote learners. I will take care of the students that are here in the classroom, and we will just ensure that everybody's taking care of business. The other thing that we need to keep in mind with it being a high school credit course is that we will follow the grading the grading guidelines of high school, which is 12 grades total. 9 will be minor, 3 will be major, and your percentages are weighed differently for high school credits. Your major grades will be 65% of the course, or excuse me, 65% of your grade, and minor grades will count 35% of the grade. So for a total of 100%. And so they're just weighted a little different versus regular courses in the middle school setting. Our objectives, okay, these are some of the things that I'm going to be working on with your child. Comprehending spoken Spanish, speaking in Spanish using good pronunciation. And this week we worked on trilling. So ask your child if they are taking Spanish 1, ask them to trill for you, and maybe they will be able to show you a really good trill. Comprehending materials written in Spanish, writing to communicate in Spanish, and we're also going to compare and contrast student culture with perspectives found in the Spanish-speaking world. We're going to look at different holidays and festivities that are celebrated around our Spanish-speaking countries, and that should be a lot of fun. These are going to be our units of study. Primarily, these are going to be your items that we're going to be looking at with vocabulary. And then within that vocabulary, we're going to add in some verbs, and that's where we're going to get our grammar conjugation. And that's going to be a big part of class this year, is learning how to put 2 sentences together with a subject and a predicate and doing that in Spanish. All right. And something that has always initially been on the school supply list is earbuds or headphones. So this year we're doing a lot of independent work, more so on the Chromebook, more so than before. So it's very important for each child to have a set of headphones or earbuds. Please make sure that you invest in a pair for your child, because it will come in handy when they are independently listening to some Spanish examples online. Okay, some important websites that I wanted to share with you guys. The top one right here is their textbook. And don't worry about getting this jotted down, because I'm going to show you where your student can find it. But in order to get into the textbook, it's first.lastname@mybisd.net, and then their password is Tiger ID. Couple other websites that I like to use are Duolingo, which most students have already started. They created a free account, conjuguemos.com, .com, excuse me. We have not gotten into conjuguemos.com yet, and then Quizlet.com. It's very important for them. I do have a QR code in the classroom that students can scan. I will share that as an upload as well. And that actually has, actually I have shared it as an upload into the letter that I shared with students the first week of school. The QR code is there. But you can actually find my vocabulary word lists that go along with our textbook that we're using, so it'll really help students study their vocabulary words. Now, as far as the textbook is concerned, the technology department made things a lot easier this year, and so we have a class link icon at the students have a class link at the bottom of their Chromebook, and when they click into the class link, they can click on the Holt McDougall online, and this will be the textbook. And it'll automatically sign them in if they are logged into Google. So it's always good to know this, because this way you don't have to worry about remembering a password and a username. And then in order to make Spanish a little more fun, some ways that I'm trying to reward students this year are the following. When we play online games, if they do well, I give prizes for the students that do well. I'm also doing a Spanish señorita of the month for the girls and a Spanish joven of the month for boys. So I'll have a Spanish student of the month for each month, and it'll be a boy and a girl, different boy, girl each month. So your student should work towards that. And then we also have the Bragg Board Incentive, which is a school-wide incentive that we use here at South Belton Middle School. This is it. I just wanted to chime in and say hello to everybody. Gracias. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And I hope to eventually meet everybody. Remember, we can also do meetings virtually on Zoom as parent-teacher, so we can have conferences that way. Anytime you ever need to call, we can talk. After school would probably be the better time. So just know that I'm here to make your child succeed in the acquisition of their new language. And my goal is to help every one of my students so that they will be successful in Spanish 1. Adios.